Hey everybody, welcome if you're new here, welcome back if you're returning. We are going to get our topic for today. Hope everyone is doing well. That project, that person, that idea is waiting. Get after that shit. The world has your back. Yeah, I think it's interesting that we get this card today because last week we were talking about how the energy of the new year is to really start to pursue the dreams, the new things, the things outside your comfort zone. That this is such an amazing time for fresh starts, and not just because it's the new year, but just energetically with what's happening in the astrology. You are supported right now in pursuing new things. And let's be honest, in the last 5 years, we had 2020, the whole, you know, that thing where we all got locked down and everything changed, and we all had to take a very new perspective on life, and it was almost like a collective downtime. I was considered an essential employee, so my day-to-day wasn't a whole lot different. However, I know for a lot of the world, it was a real slowdown, and with people in their homes without the social interaction, there was a lot of self-reflection going on just because that's the only person you had to spend time with. And in that time, I think a lot of people took stock of their lives and wanted something different. However, as we move forward from that, there were a lot of challenges in trying to make that happen. Economic issues, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's always something. But we're at a point now where there's just so many new opportunities and so much supportive energy for getting outside the box. I mean, how many people do you know that have a side hustle? You know, that thing, that dream that they want to build, that they're doing over here while they're still doing their 9 to 5, that, it's okay and it pays the bills, but it's just soul sucking. It's not their passion. I think we've reached a point where we realize that life is not about just surviving. We want to thrive. We want to have fulfillment in what we do in our day-to-day, and not just work, 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 take a vacation, work, work, work. Because let's be honest, I was talking to a guy, it was during election, and we were standing in line to vote, and he was talking about he didn't want to leave his job because he was up to 3 weeks of vacation now. He hates his job, but he doesn't want to start over somewhere else where there's just 1 week's vacation after the first year. And I was like, let's really look at this. I said, there are 52 weeks in a year, right? So you only have to work 49 of them now. Like, what would happen if you went after what you actually want to do and had more time freedom to where no one dictated how many weeks a year you had to work? And it was almost like an epiphany for him. He's like, all of a sudden those 3 weeks didn't seem so appealing. and that's where I think we're starting to open up our minds about other possibilities, because there is so much that we actually have control over that when we first look at it, we don't think we do. Like, well, I have to make this much money. Do you? Or are you choosing that amount because your house is too big, you're overpaying for a vehicle that you don't need, and you've got 6,000 TV channels? You see where I'm going with this? Like, we choose those things, and we get to a point where we may feel like it's not a choice anymore, but everything is a choice. Everything we do is a choice. It's just about making different choices. So, if you can make this much money doing the thing you love, but that's not enough to support the lifestyle you currently have, is it worth it to you to downsize? Downsize your house, downsize your car. Are you willing to trade that for joy and passion? Do you really need a 4-bedroom house when there's only 2 people living in it? Do you really need a pickup truck? Are you a contractor? Do you haul a lot of stuff, or do you just like pickup trucks? And those are the choices I'm talking about. And I've asked people before, because they'll have a boat and motorcycle and jet skis and all these things that they're making payments on. Okay, how often do you get to use those things? Because you work 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week to pay for them. When are you using them? When do you get to enjoy them? And when you look at it from that perspective, it's like, I'm completely wasting my money. And that's why I said that what we own owns us to some degree. And if you're willing to cut back in this area, then that gives you the opportunity to have more freedom to make choices in this area. And it's just about what's important to you. You know, I'm not projecting or trying to preach to you to become a minimalist so you can pursue your passion project. Just throwing that out, like, it is an option. It's just about what is your priority and what's important to you. But that project, that person, that idea is waiting. And you probably know what it is for you. So what things stand in the way of that? What are your obstacles in your mind that you think, well, I can't do that because I'm too old? Really? Are you still breathing? Because as long as you're not dead, you can make a different choice. And even if, I've seen a 90-year-old graduate from college because that was her passion, her dream was to get a degree. Is she going to have a 30-year career at it? Probably not. But she achieved her goal. Her goal was just to get the degree. And that's like, that person is waiting. Have you been wanting to find your soulmate? What's holding you back? Is it insecurity about yourself? Is it the fact that you never leave your house? Because that will definitely cut back on your odds of meeting your dream person. My friends were giving me a hard time. I had actually chosen not to date for a period of time. And they kept asking me if I was waiting for Prince Charming to break into my house. Because they're like, that's the only way you'll meet someone. And I'm like, no, that's why I'm not leaving my house. I don't want that right now. So our choices in the day-to-day make a big difference in whether or not we have the freedom to pursue the things that we truly desire. What's holding you back? What choices could you make differently that would open up the opportunities for you to pursue the things that you really truly want? And have you even taken the time to think about what you really want? And for me, that was a big thing for a large portion of my 30s. I didn't have time to think about what I wanted because I was too busy just trying to keep up with the day-to-day. And it almost felt like a prison sentence. The life that I had created for myself felt like a prison sentence because it wasn't what I wanted. And it took everything I had to maintain it. And when I finally realized that I chose this, consciously no, but I chose this because I sentenced myself to having to work ridiculous hours to pay for a ridiculous house in a ridiculous neighborhood, and that was my fault. And if I wanted something different, then I had to choose something different. And I found that in my personal situation, I would much rather have time freedom and the ability to choose my day than having a ridiculously large house that I then have to clean, maintain, heat, cool. Why am I beating myself up to have a lot of space that I don't use? That seemed dumb to me when I actually took a step back and looked at it. And it's things like that once we're in that life in that moment, and we're just living it day to day, we feel trapped, but it's just a matter of making a different choice. So what is that thing that's waiting? What is that thing for you that you're going to do later, maybe next year? I can't do that right now. I can't do that because, well, you can't. Get after that shit. The world has your back. Very true. When you start making choices in the direction of your passions and you start laying the groundwork for it, the world has your back. Opportunities will come your way. If you stay in the present moment and you're focused on that goal, you'll see those opportunities. That heart intuition thing we were talking about, it'll kick off and be like that, check that out. There, you need to go there. That person, you need to talk to that person. Will guide you to where you want to be when you open your mind to the possibility that you can do that thing. You absolutely can. And I have a challenge in the book. Think of 21 things. You won't come up with 21, but by about 15, you're going to get real creative. 21 things you can do right now to change your situation, to move you closer to your dream. And by spending the time thinking about those 21 things, your brain is programmed to start looking for that. And that's where your heart, your intuition are on point, looking for those opportunities. So, what is your thing? What is it that's waiting for you that you have lied to yourself about not being able to pursue right now? I hope this helps. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will talk to you soon.